Oh man, I sure didn't get to. The other thing I'm really like excited about, like low key, and I don't know if I'm just I don't know, I think something's wrong, or like I think I'm getting nostalgia baited, like because Paramount Plus with the rebooting it, not rebooting, but continuation of Frasier. It's got me. I,
Have you watched it?
no,
Okay.
I don't have Paramount Plus.
I do, but I haven't seen it yet on my Paramount. So I have Paramount Plus through Amazon, so it comes up in my Amazon searches and stuff.
Yeah, it pops up all the time. Like, do you want to use your trial? Do you want to use it? I'm
Do you
like,
want to do it? Do you have the free
man.
time to use it?
No, I'd rather watch G Witch. Okay, all right. Personally,
that's
rather
fair.
watch G Witch.
Good.
If I have time.
I appreciate you.
But hey. Anyways, hello everybody, and welcome to an exciting episode of Low Key on the Wheel of Tears Network. My name is Harry, aka the Movie Target, and welcome to this amazing episode. We talk about Glam Reactions and Rejoice. The WGA strikes over the strike. One of the strikers. There's some other things going. Other people are still striking, so it's not complete rejoice. You know,
right. This is just one of the industries that are currently striking.
I know. And honestly, if there were more unions right now, there'd probably be more. I think if there was a like a fast food workers union, everyone would just join that. You know,
Starbucks,
like something like that. I think they would. You know, they'd be rejoined, and eventually, IT workers will get a union. I see us eventually. You know, or a guild. At least a guild. Can we get a guild or something?
Well, the thing with IT is that because of the way that the industry is, it's actually more effective for you to not have a
union.
Union, yeah. I mean, because you can
guild?
get better deals if you don't. But
yeah, it looks like maybe a guild hall, like electricians hall or something, maybe. Anyways, that exciting bassy tones that you are hearing, you know, which is Reinhold. Reinhold, you gonna go say hi?
Hello, everybody. Apologize. I just got off work like 15 minutes ago, and I haven't time to clean up or shave or anything. So, anybody watching, just kind of put your hand over my, like you normally do. Put your hand over my panel, and then you'll be good.
No. We don't do that. We don't do that here. I want everyone to make sure they see Reinhold and his gray beard, full screen,
scraggly, not trimmed.
Honestly, this photo here, you really do look like an IT worker. Beforehand, I was like, okay, maybe he's a director. maybe the sales guy. Oh, okay. No. He's in the trenches. Yeah. And the laughter you see, who's hold on. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, we got
excellent. All right. I feel better now.
Is that better? Is that a knuckle shirt you have on?
Oh no, it's a.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I just
you saw the red at the top. It's like, is he wearing knuckles?
That's fine.
Nah. I just been going through the day with Metal Lingus in my head.
Oh, all day.
For people who don't, in your head?
For people who don't know, in wrestling,
Metal Lingus.
AEW had a pay-per-view last night, and the former Edge from WWE, Adam Copeland, appeared. It is signed with AEW, but he has his original theme song because WWE didn't own that theme song. So he came out with his original theme song and everything. Mm-hmm. So, but his theme song also slaps. So,
it slaps. It slaps.
Slaps so hard.
Yeah, I listened to it before it was his theme.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's by a band called Alter Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Metal Lingus. It is.
How many seconds awesome. Do you think we could play of that before we get?
No, not right now.
I bet I could hum it as no playlist.
Yeah. Especially now. Well, I mean, with AEW just signing, that's not gonna happen. It's like, as a wrestling fan, it was great wrestling. I don't know if you saw any of that stuff besides that. So much, like they literally.
I try to stay away from AEW. I'm watching enough stuff.
It was called Wrestle Dream. They did a bunch of like matches that were that people have been wanting or they haven't had a chance to see. And one of them was Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr., who, with like the person that does the wrestling awards from like 2000 to 2011, Bryan Danielson won the Technical Wrestler Award of the Year. And then from 2011 to 2018, Zack Sabre Jr. won the Most Technical Wrestler of the Year. And then from 2019 to now, it's Bryan Danielson again. So it's like, cool, we're just going to have this amazing technical match. And they not only they put it over so hard, at one point the commentators took off their headsets and got closer to the ring because they wanted to see the technical moves that was happening. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Are you watching what we're watching?
Exactly.
Oh God. Oh man.
Wrestling's so fun.
That's so much better than half the crap that's out there.
Wrestling's so fun.
Yeah. It goes back to what I tell people, like there's more content than you ever, can watch at a sitting out there.
I think the thing that makes it so good is that the fans are into it, and not just because they watch this up, but they're all like engaged online. So there was a whole thing about one of the female wrestlers, Julia Hart, who was wrestling. There was like an online debate of who had a better moonsault, and like she teased the moonsault, and the whole crowd got super hype. And when the babyface stopped her, they all booed the babyface. And then when she hit the moonsault, the crowd lost their fucking mind. Like, yeah, she hit the moonsault. We built this up all week. I'm like, all right, cool. Wrestling's so stupid, but so entertaining.
Yeah. See, it's
the
great
fact
stuff.
that Sting is still wrestling, and he was been wrestling for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Wrestling when I was in my early 20s. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And he's jumped off like 30-foot entry ramps now.
No, it's just
it's like I don't know how he's still able to do these things.
What is it? What juice is he drinking? What yoga program is it? It's a Pilates.
I mean, it's probably DDP yoga.
It's probably
it's just DDP just hanging around.
DDP owes me. Does it for me personally. He zooms in at 5 a.m. I make him.
Yeah, I mean it's always entertaining to have something that people are super invested in. Like
now, I just want a skit of a DDP going to his fridge and Sting just appearing behind him.
It's a series of skits of DDP just doing stuff and Sting showing up demanding yoga.
Yeah.
He's having dinner with his family. Knock on the door. Opens it. It's Surfer Sting.
Halloween, Sting shows up. Goodwood takes mask off. It's Sting. Really Sting.
Yeah. But like, there's so much great stuff. Like they did a press conference, and Christian's having the time of his life, being this massive heel. A wrestler turned and joined his faction. Somebody asked him in the conference, the presser, have you seen? What was the first time you seen him wrestle? And what did you think? He's like, I've never seen him wrestle. And just stared silently at the crowd.
I don't care.
It's like, you realize he's in your faction.
Who?
Yeah, basically.
God, classic Christian.
Classic Christian. So good.
God. Yeah. See, Ryan, you got to stay away from AEW. It's gonna.
That's how my week has been.
It's gonna get in your bones. It's gonna get in your bones.
Just stuck playing that theme song in my head every day.
All day. I was playing it all day. I was listening to that, and I was listening to like I don't really want to talk. Yeah, I was listening to another podcast that I was listening to. That was got some things. Just put it that way, And I had to speed watch some Muda stuff this morning about some sort of simulator game that we don't get into here. We will not get into.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yep.
so focused on work today that I haven't even listened to my daily podcast that I listen to every morning. It's like I feel like I'm like way behind on everything on the news and everything.
What podcast is that, Reinhold?
Oh, it was a series of them, but one of them is like Daily Beans and things like that. And the Wheel Weaves.
Bean Report.
Bean
Report.
Bean Report. No, it's the Daily Beans. Just podcast, a daily podcast about news on things Trump, basically almost.
Oh, like, the Trump Report.
It's Allison Gill. She's one that did the Mueller report for a bunch of years. So.
Okay, all right, yeah. Cause I like to listen to Ernest Hancock's Trump Report. That one's kind of neat. I like listening to Ernie talk about Trump because it's like, oh yeah, that guy's still doing stuff. You still voting for him? Still what's going on? Anyways,
he's real into the legal aspects and the lawyer aspects and what the judge said here and what the filing said there, that sort of thing. So it's good to keep track of him. Helps me keep track on all that.
Nice.
She does a weekly podcast with called Jack, which is basically about the special prosecutor Jack, and that's hosted with her by Andy McCabe. You remember who Andrew McCabe is? He was a former FBI director that Trump really, really hates.
Yep. Yeah, I kind of want to see. All right, so I might go look for that tomorrow because all I saw was some clickbait, which I assume is a clickbait title. I don't know. I stayed out of it. I'm staying out of it about allegedly of Trump saying some stuff about a judge before going to do something this morning. I don't know anything about the clickbait.
It's not clickbait.
I assume the title's clickbait. There's no way someone would do that. That's dumb.
Why would anybody do that?
It's a dumb move. So I'm sure it's clickbait.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he must have.
No. Did you? You can see the post. He made a social post right before he went in, calling the judge a racist, corrupt, blah blah blah. It was just horrible. The guy just
I'm sure
basically he's trying to get somebody. He's trying to see how far he can push it. Will somebody tell him he has to shut up? And how are they going to stop him other than sticking him in jail?
It sounds like clickbait, right? I'm not gonna believe that.
I have to believe that it's not true.
I think it was a screenshot up. You can read it.
Oh man,
I read it this morning. I was
sanity. Like, what? That's bad. It's okay. Crazier stuff has happened. They looked at what there's certain people in Japan that says some crazy stuff. They just can't let this guy happen. So yeah, crazy stuff has happened. Yes, I put those two in the same camp. But no, we don't know this. That's no. I don't. It doesn't matter. It's clickbait title. I'm sure.
This specific judge is not one that Trump appointed. It's a state judge that he was going off on this morning.
Oh god,
it was in New York State.
Oh god. Anyway, so clickbait title, I'm sure.
It's basically the judge that said he had to dissolve all of his businesses.
Okay, all right.
So he's not happy with the guy.
I'm sure it's if it did happen, but I'm sure it didn't because it's probably clickbait. But if it did happen, I am sure there's some sort of strategery around that. Okay?
Allegedly,
some strategery.
8D chess, right?
Yeah. 8D.
He's got a plan
with it.
8D underwater backgammon. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Because that would just be goofy. Right? That's just goofy. Who would do that? Anyways. This episode.
We're gonna talk about
this episode on Trump is a bully idiot.
So I'm sure like everyone's like you guys all because everyone loves low key. Everyone loves us, especially you guys. Especially you guys, the key holders. You all of you subscribers to the Keyhold. You guys are great. Keyhold's like our bat cave. I don't know.
Secret.
Secret keyhole. You gotta have the key to be a key holder to be inside. But
sounds suspiciously like a bunny club.
Wish we had a bunny club. Don't tempt me, Ryan. Don't tempt me, Ryan. We've got a $250,000 studio. I could turn that into a bunny club. I don't know how we'd get bunnies, but I'd get some. We'll get some. I don't know. I don't know what to do, but we'll get some. And before the people who call me sexist, they will all be femboys.
So you're just trying to get Hody here, gotcha.
Made outfits.
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying. No. There'll be no key holding parties. No.
Fishbowl by the door. Put your key in as you come in.
Change the logo to low key to an upside down pineapple. So we're doing now.
Whoa. I don't want to know what's going on in your personal life, sir. But hard pass.
So one of those at the I was going to Yoke parking lot. I was like, be careful, locker room. Be careful, locker room. Anyways, no. So a couple of things have been happening this week because I do want to talk about the WGA writer strike because that has ended, and Vincent has been obsessed with certain YouTube reaction channels. He's been ranting slightly about it, so I want to kind of poke him and get his see what's going on, see if I missed anything. Because yes, he made me watch May's hard work. I watched the Oompaville video because he kept talking about it, so I had to go watch it.
Yeah.
And that has messed with my suggestion feed. So catch Ryan Hold. You on YouTube they do this thing called reaction videos. You know what
I'm aware of reaction videos. Yeah, I watch them
cool.
every day.
I know it's something that you're brand new to you. You've never heard of it before.
Never heard of it before. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so
I repeat, do not watch 8 to 10 reaction videos of Wheel of Time every week after the show drops.
God, exactly.
It's not something I do.
Right.
And is Wheel of Time that new game show that Amazon bought?
Game show.
Yeah. Kind of like Wheel of Fortune, but it's Wheel of Time.
Is Wheel of Time, is that the name of the next Mr. Beast challenge?
Yeah, they give people time back on your clock. And they spin it, and it's like 2 days. Yeah.
Then you go back a week before you signed on, so that you can get out of the contract. That's good. That's what
It's a time contract, Reinhold. Come on.
Yeah, it's an old joke. I don't know if you remember the old joke, but it's basically when people make mistakes in horror movies, it's like when this person does this or when this person does that. And it said for Centipede, it was when those persons signed up to do the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, such a funny movie. But no,
and at the end of the show too, we're gonna hit on the Illuminati, right?
Okay. All right.
Rhino, do you have the time?
Nobody wants to talk about Illuminati.
There is too much there to get into.
There's really not. I can summarize it in 1 minute.
I would prefer to actually talk about the Illuminati. Not the Okay. All right.
Not Blair. You don't want to talk about Blair, huh?
No, I do not. In fact, someone found out I turned the alerts on there, and they're having a ball.
Sounds good.
I hope they're happy.
What's funny though is that all that happened, and I just won't get into it, but all that happened because of her getting pissed at Legal Eagle wrongly and made a fool out of himself. It's hilarious. Legal Eagle is one of my best. I love that channel. I actually watch him on Nebula. Do you know what Nebula is? So I got a Nebula, so I watch his videos over there, so I get the longer reactions. So it was funny seeing someone try to go after him. It's like dumb.
It's funny. Yeah. But no, right? Why do you want to talk about this thing for? Do you really want to?
I don't. I just want to talk about something. I just want to make your guys' life a living hell. That's what it is. My goal in life is to make you as uncomfortable as I am, having to have read through that and watched 4 or 5 hour videos on it. Why are people making 4 hour videos on this stupid thing?
Fine.
It's so simple.
Fine.
Stupid person did something stupid, horrible.
October 30th
go away.
episode. October 30th episode. We can do it. You're carrying this whole episode on your back.
No, but that's just it's 1 minute of somebody is stupid and did something stupid and is a horrible person, and now people know it, and nobody wants to.
Right, go. Just go.
That's it. That's the extent of it. They made a she was stupid. She's horrible person, and now everybody knows it.
And the only reason they know it is because
she did something stupid, and then she did all the other stupid shit.
Everybody else came out of the woodwork.
They smelled blood in the water, and everyone kept going because, like, I didn't know anything was happening. I just knew, like, I watched one channel react to one of her videos, and then another channel that I like to watch because they go after like just a meme review channel, and they were just like, I don't want to talk about any of the drama, but I will say this, and they just went on for like 30 minutes. I was like, oh. I know I didn't like this person's politics, but they're actually a bad person. Like, I was willing to listen to their arguments. It's like, oh, some of this seems well researched. But
I saw a couple of videos before it all happened, and I kind of liked it. But and she had a good style. I mean, but she had editors doing all of that work.
I disagreed with her conclusions. I love the data. I disagree, jump, the conclusion in. Okay, but I can disagree though. I see where you're going. Just kind of like that one video I sent Reinhold that I want to force Reinhold to watch. It was this awful video. I doubt he can sit through more than 15 minutes about like the death of radio. Yeah.
Oh my god! Of course they are.
King of Lion of Channels of that Killed Passion. Oh no!
Oh god! Yeah, no. The fact that her former partner, who's also a YouTuber, has shown the Google Doc that he's been working on that went from 5,000 words to 100,000 words is the issue here. And so we can leave it at that until he finishes that video.
Good. We're leaving it there. Anyway, speaking of another YouTuber, Vincent had me watch his Oompaville video about SS Sniper Wolf. OG YouTuber. I remember a lot of dust up of Sniper Wolf back in the day. I was never a fan of her content. I know.
Whoa. Are you talking about the gaming content? Because that's not her. According to her, that's not her. That's one of her things, is that she purposely divorced herself from the old content, saying that's not her. That's not a joke. That's not a joke.
Catch me up. What? All right. I just watched the one video. I didn't go to the rabbit hole. Okay.
Yeah. No. So she, as of right now, Sniper Wolf does react content, which is low quality to the point where the YouTuber Jax Films has a whole YouTube channel and YouTube stream where he plays Sniper Wolf Bingo and goes through all of her reactions, credits everybody that she doesn't credit, and then her content is so formulaic that he's able to fill out like mini bingo cards worth of content of things that she does all the time.
Oh my god, Chet. Wow, Chet. Wow.
Oh no, it's like one of the more recent things he added is like the Mr. Beast subtitles for no reason. She'll just say something and just subtitle it with the Mr. Beast subtitles for no reason at all.
I would be so embarrassed.
I
found the bingo card.
Yeah, there's so many the bingo cards are ridiculous. And because when he does it on stream, he goes, "Hey, we're doing it this stream." He picks a video and he goes through and gives credit to everybody that he doesn't credit. What? We just read the dots go. Just go.
Oh my god, the victim blaming the square.
Yeah, where she blames whoever's in the watching. He has this whole second channel, Jax Films, with 2 J's in the front. Jax Films.
That's fine. Freebooting a freebooted video. Oh my god. And then actual insight into the video. I would hate to have that.
That was rare. That was so rare
to have that on my chart. That'd be terrible. So
but it's
okay. So SS Sniper Wolf, OG YouTuber, turn react, and everyone's piling on to Sniper Wolf because the divorce, or
Oh no, because she's stealing content and doesn't credit anybody, but also YouTube like holds her up as this beacon of media, and everybody's like, "Why are you doing this?" She's just taking people's in stuff, doesn't credit any of them, and just goes, "Cool, this is what the I'm gonna get all this money and millions of views, and YouTube's gonna reward me for stealing other people's content."
Well, it helps support the other people. Like if she reacts to your video,
No, it doesn't though. That's the thing. That's the whole Jax Films.
Yeah.
Why he did the bingo thing is because she doesn't credit anybody, and he's talked to a bunch of people that she's reacted to, and it doesn't affect their numbers at all.
Yeah.
And if anything, it lowers their numbers because they've seen it already.
Yeah, plays in the complete entirety. You know, I think that's one thing TikTok does very well is that watermark. You know, it's really hard to escape that you got this thing from TikTok because it's got that watermark in there and it tells the person's channel. I think that is amazing. I like it.
Right, but she edits out the watermark.
Oh wow, she took some extra effort.
There's the watermark on most of them. She gets rid of the watermark. She doesn't credit them. That's the thing, and she's gone beyond the payoff points of. Well, she will take a TikTok, cut it, say the joke that was in the video, and after cutting the joke out of the video. So like somebody
she cuts the joke out of somebody else's joke, and then she does the joke herself.
Exactly.
As if she came up with it.
Exactly that. It's ridiculous. And then her being an OG YouTuber, her being of her playing stuff, and her doing all these gaming content. The issue is she openly states that that's not her. She claims that's a completely different person. She refuses to claim that content. Even though in her divorce proceedings, her ex-husband is like, no, it's definitely her, and I definitely played all those games. This is a direct link between her and this content.
Oh wow. Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I was thinking with the Oopaville videos, like it was just all the other like separation from other older content or other videos that she did. It's all just massive separation from it, which just seemed weird.
Yeah, so like he covered like before all this stuff happened, and then Jax Films has just been on it. He's just been going through so many of the videos have been like removed. She actually had to remove full videos because he encourages people who she's taken the content of to report her for taking their content.
At least content strike, yeah.
Yeah,
put in strike.
He goes through it. So
what type of reactions does she do?
Oh well, she'll put let's say it's a funny people fall down video. She'll watch the video and just
random compilation videos and things like that.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. It's random compilations where like the title is she titles it and then she aggregates a bunch of TikToks and just makes the most borderline basic content ever. One of the squares is reading the captions because she does it every time. If there's ever any caption on any video, she will read it first and foremost. It's not quality content.
So like less or more effort than XQC?
I would say it's the same because Sniper Wolf has the thing of she's had videos where she put a full TikTok without her reacting or anything in the middle of the video.
At least she doesn't do like the blank chair like he does, right?
I mean, that's borderline the same thing.
Okay.
You put in a video with no context and just let it play with no additive information does not mean you have fair use on that. You just stole the video, you re-uploaded it.
All right. Well, are we out of our, are we pilot on? Are we dog pilot? What do you think? I know you don't watch Sniper Wolf, but like,
No, I don't. So here's the thing. I've seen a lot of really bad reaction video stuff, especially on TikTok, because TikTok will do a lot of stitching, I guess is what it's called, or whatever, where they have somebody's video, then they're reacting to it, then somebody else is reacting to their reaction to that video, and it's just like, stop it, please. I mean, I watch reaction videos for things like this person's watching a movie that I really love. Let's see what their reactions, how they react to certain things. When I saw them, I remember what it felt like for me. I want to see if somebody else has that same reaction to it. Right. But random videos, I mean, I don't understand the thing that there's no shared enjoyment that you're getting out of the reaction. In my opinion, you're just, it really comes down to whether you think that person is funny or not. And to me, it sounds like nobody really thinks she's that funny. Why is she so popular? Right.
Oh, so that's easy because it's directly directed more towards children, and it's more of just people who are watching it or like watching the aggregated of the TikTok, so they don't have to go look for it. So it adds another layer of easiness for people to go watch it.
So there's a person named Call Me Chris who does great stuff, right? And her stuff gets stolen all the time. People putting them up on their, and it's not even reactions at that point. There are people who are just stealing her stuff and putting it up on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You know, hey, watch this, you know, and it's like at some point somebody's got to figure out that that's not the way to go. So I always try to make sure. And there's a couple other, like as a Frank Nicotero, a couple other comedians I like who you go to Facebook and you see those reels of them and you find out that's other people creating those channels, stealing their content and putting it up and getting people to watch them.
Right.
And that sort of stuff's got to stop because that's harming the whole thing. I mean, if you just keep lowering the quality and stealing views away from the people who are making the content, they're not going to make the content anymore. You're not going to get the good quality content anymore. And people like Call Me Chris need to be supported because they're really funny and they're smart and do really good stuff.
Correct. Yeah, you've got to support the well that you keep going to, and you keep scamming and stealing. You're just going to ruin everything. It's the main thing when we talk about like what's going on and what's bad, what's in within China is because the CCP encourages this whole like theft culture of intellectual property, stuff like this. So like if you can't create and everyone who gets ahead of people who scam, it was like, well, there's no innovation. You know, all you can do is just steal things.
Right. It's and like. One of the other things for the Sniper Wolf stuff is just like you have it's a lower common denominator kind of thing of just like you're watching somebody that you find attractive reacting to things. And and once people start pointing out that, oh, there are videos where she has the same exact video and the same exact reaction within a minute of each other in the same video. And people because Jacksonville, people are going through and claiming things that she's taken, even back from 2012. There's going through basically going through the process of she's taking my content, strike.
Yeah. So I've seen some of the reaction channels that Ryan Hall talks about, like when people are really reacting to like something that's happened. I was watching this one YouTube channel was an elderly guy, older than Ryan Hall, which is hard to believe, watching like the people would send them like, hey, watch these scenes from like these dramatic parts of anime, and watch him react to it like as he's watching these dramatic anime scenes. You know, it was great. You know, like. Loved it because, like, you know, the little things that it'll show like a bit of it, but then it's back to his full face, so you just understand. It's almost like key. What's the word I'm looking for? What's it? The keystones, or it's the keystones when video recording. So with like so if you can watch it along with him, so you know exactly where he's at. So like it keeps popping like a random flash to the screen. You could get like
timestamps and stuff.
Yeah, so you know, like you're watching it on your own.
But he's not actually broadcasting.
Correct. It's not broadcasting.
Right. He's just showing his face, and that's it. Okay, so
it's mostly his face and once a flash of the screen. So so if you're watching along, you know you can know you're right. Keeping up. You're not going too slow or something like that. So
when I watch my reaction videos, like I watch like Cinebinge and stuff like that, where they're doing movie reactions or TV reactions, they will show little clips as they're watching it and highlight and show the reaction to it, and then go back to the blur or something. So, you know, and they cut it up on YouTube so that they're only showing parts of the movie. They're not showing the whole thing. It's just my reaction is a highlight reaction of this, highlight reaction of this, you know, the certain scenes and certain things that happen during a movie. So it's only like 15, 20 minutes, right? You're not watching, you know, an hour and a half long movie, but those, I think, and music, and there's a lot of people doing music reactions too, right? Well, some of them will play the whole song, they get away with it, but some of them have to like pause it several times in between so that YouTube doesn't strike them, take them down for the automatic content stuff. So you got to be careful of that. But like one of the things I was watching, I've been seeing on my feed lately is there's a guy who shows these cooking videos. Like the person is making some sort of dish and they're cooking it, and he's on the other side of the screen just like going, just like over the top reacting to things that are happening. But it's
yeah.
People find this enjoyable. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think he watched one of Manji's videos. I think I've seen that. Yeah, and I got real upset because I was like, Manji works really hard, cooks this food. You can at least do some commentary on it.
Like that's one of the
the only good thing about that is that other people are seeing that content.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make sure you're giving credit to that. So somebody says, "Hey, I really like that video you reacted to. I want to see more from that person who made that video."
Mm-hmm.
They know where to go to get it. That's the trade-off there. It's like extra advertising at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Same with music. You hear a good song, you react to it, you say, "Hey, this is this person, this is their music, because we're gonna go get it." Cool, they can go get that music when they want to hear it. So but when you're just stealing it, for your own content because you're too incapable of making anything that's interesting on your own, you're just doing it for clicks, for ads, for money, to make a living doing it. And there's no difference in that and me going to an AI generator and making a cheap 20-minute video that you can type in a couple commands and it writes its own script and does its own reading and everything. It's easy to do, and you can get just tons of money from it, I guess, because people don't watch it.
We need a new topic for next Monday, because that was next Monday's topic. I was just gonna go to AI. Thanks, Reinhold.
Like a great example of why this content is so ridiculous is that the reaction content and the way that it is on YouTube is basically all of Japanese television. Like actual live action. If it's not a drama, that's basically all television is in Japan. There's a great video by Broad in Japan with Chris Broad. That he talks about the television industry in Japan, and a lot of it is basically idols reacting to video clips. Basically,
serious?
Yeah.
I don't watch Japanese TV.
That's why you see a lot of stuff like anime is so much of their storytelling medium, is because most of their storytelling, besides the few dramas that come out of it, because most Asian dramas you hear are K-dramas, not J-dramas or anything.
Right.
Yeah. And most of their hard telling or interesting stories, they get fed through the anime lens because it's easier for them to actually get it on television.
I just didn't think maybe it's just written wrong or bad, because you get Korean both sides. You get their animation or Korean the shows and stuff like that. So so it's all right. I just did I know that?
Yeah.
All right, I got something I wanted to show up. Just
right on, making
it's just. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but it's a small snippet from a movie that was the most prescient movie ever made at the time that it was made. This came out in the year 2006.
No. Not this
2006. Watch what this is.
I like money. I like money.
All right, let me cue this up.
You realize if I can't go back in the past, you can't get your money, right? But I like money.
Sweet.
It swept the Oscars.
Should have.
Next on the Violence Channel, an all new album.
Okay, first off,
this is what we're watching.
The chair.
Yes.
You RGB that chair, black leather bound, that would sell.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got an actual toilet in it too. Remember, if you ever seen the movie,
it's got a toilet in it, and that does look like Twitch sometimes.
I'll have you know, Reinhold, we made a electrolyte reference in our D&D game. In this world, electrolytes obviously exist. They're good for plants. Come on.
Well, that's what I was talking. My wife was feeling sick, so I got her some Gatorade last night. And she said she needs it, helps her feel better. I said, yeah, it's got electrical lights. It's what plants crave.
That's what plants
And she looked at me like, what? I'm like, come on, you got to remember the reference here. Work with me.
You kicked him in
Ow my balls. I'm surprised there's not an Ow my balls channel.
I mean, that's what prank videos were for a long time.
Honestly, have you seen a lot of the prank videos? They're basically Ow my balls.
I mean, at least in Ow my balls, they don't get shot.
That's true. I'm telling you, you make that chair now, the toilet in it, the day,
Officer Collins?
RGB.
Are we on?
What are you doing? I'm baiting.
Face your ass on my fist. Face, ass. Shut up.
I'm sorry. It's just where am I?
Got him.
Shut up. I told you already.
Yeah, this movie's just ridiculous.
I mean, isn't this where we're at this point? When you were talking about the Japanese videos and that's all it is, I was like, this is what it is, right? That's where we're going.
That does look like San Francisco Street right now. Okay.
What are you talking about? There's no homeless people there.
Yeah.
The Masturbation Network. Keeping America baiting for 300.
All right.
Yeah.
I would stop there.
Oh, yeah. Give me some. Cut me a piece.
All right, and we're done. Yeah, we're done.
You guys remember we're going to talk about the writer's strike?
Oh yeah. This is back.
This is with no writers, you can't get good quality content like that. Right?
I mean,
that movie, but you understand that movie predicts so much that actually it was seeing in the future, just like. Again, Josie and the Pussycats, I'll bring it back up again. They were predicting what was going to happen. It happened. Everybody saw it happen. And it's just like, we knew it was going to happen. It happened. There we are.
It's
nothing
just
about it.
It's just Idiocracy's fault that Crocs exist. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Is that why your reaction to Trump is so like like abrasive? Because you're just like, no, I won't let this movie be that true. This stops here.
No, it's not so much. It's not so much that
I will not have Camacho.
Well, see, he might bring Hector Camacho. He is actually running this year. Did you see that? Right?
Yeah.
I think he ran in 2022, but there's a truck going around that he's driving with Hector Camacho in 2024.
Just
gives me something to vote for.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson when he runs. I
am not voting for some billionaire.
You got a millionaire or a billionaire? Which one are you going to vote for? They're both over 75.
That's the other thing. Like movie star millionaires are like some of like the worst types of millionaires because they don't really they created art and just took money from people. They didn't really have like a business underneath them of people satisfied.
But you got to look like Harrison Ford. He was a carpenter for years and years and years before he made his break, right? So at least he's got something stable on. So when you go talk to him, he seems like a regular guy. Yeah. Some of these people, like an Ariana Grande or something like that, where it's like,
okay, so like I think Oprah probably was a regular person, and then the first billion.
At some point,
not anymore.
Well, I mean, they're gonna hit a whole other terrible experience. The whole Dan Snyder stuff is disgusting. That's a whole other rabbit hole to go down that we're not going to go through today. So the writer's strike. The writer's strike.
Yonder right there responded to Buddha's video.
I saw that. I haven't watched it yet.
This just came out 2 hours. We're just going to watch this. Come on, guys.
No. We have a title.
Buddha drives to Canada, kicks off. Get him.
We have a title. We have to do this, sir.
All right, fine. All right, back to the WNBA. So the fine. All right. So the writer's strike has ended, but they're still on strike because they're in solidarity with the actors.
They're still on strike, but they can actually talk about stuff now. So like, there's the example, Wheel of Time has been out. So the showrunner, Rafe Judkins, hasn't been able to say anything about the show because writer strike. Well, writer strike ended. He's out doing interviews now.
Right.
He couldn't do interviews before because of his not writing and stuff like that. So at least some of that stuff is coming back, and we're able to do some promotions of shows and things like that weren't getting done before.
Yeah. Oh yeah, all the shows that
but still on the picket line and doing stuff. Yeah.
Go Fever. See, Christy would love if we turned into a WNBA channel. We during the summer.
No, very unwise.
Maybe we do that. Make Vincent watch the WNBA. It'd be great. You'll like it.
Have that on one screen, Resident or in the other.
Do you want a small 2-minute rabbit hole to go down?
We have a writer's thing to talk about.
All right, so back to the writer's strike.
We have a writer's thing to talk about, sir.
I was just say they're trying to go after Tay-Tay now. So the Republicans are. They're trying to call her trans. She's not really a woman.
I'm gonna remove Ryan Holt. My friends. Oh God. The woman purity test. That's what we're in store for now.
Okay, so the writers' strike.
keep going. Just go hard.
The writers' strike. So they came to an agreement that they released a presser of the summary of what they agreed to.
Mm-hmm.
That's good for 3 years.
Okay. Claiming that is everything they wanted. They got everything they wanted, he said.
For the most part. This is what they said. Some of the stuff is very iffy looking at it. I see things that makes me feel a little conflicted, like the artificial intelligence one. Because they've added regulations, right? It's AI can't write or rewrite literary material.
Yeah. That seems
rewrite. You can't polish it. So technically, you can't use Grammarly.
Yeah,
it's technically AI.
It is technically AI. So it's like, but we know that. I think it's. If I remember, it's worded so the studio can't do it. They can.
I pulled it up.
Oh, okay. So the writer itself could do it, but okay.
Yeah.
All right. So they can't bring a studio in to come in and clean it up.
So I'm trying to just remember. Yeah. We've established regulations for the use of artificial intelligence. Yeah.
So AI can't do it, and AI generated material isn't considered as source material. But a writer can choose to use AI if the company consents and provided the writer company follows company policies. But the company cannot require it. Yeah,
which to me, I think you're also right that they can't use Grammarly or something like that. So I really want to see, or something similar. So I kind of want them.
Well, the studio. So what happens is that you have somebody bringing a script, and right before it goes to production, they usually have somebody come in and punch it up, right, or do a rewrite. So the studio can't do it, but the studio can hire another writer. That writer could come in and use the AI to clean it up.
As long as it's part of the union, yes.
Yeah, and here the reserves the right to assert the exploitation of writers' materials trained to AI is not allowed, which is fun.
Yep.
Some of this stuff is increased minimums, pension rates. Every writer has a full pension and healthcare up to a cap, instead of it being split between writers. Because this is super interesting for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing. And most of this stuff was approved on. I think the biggest sticking thing was the which we'll get to is the whole writers room. How many cooks in the kitchen?
All right, we'll come back to that. We'll come to that in a second. But this is one of the other things that I kept talking about was streaming rates. Right, it's like for full length projects, with $30 million or more, they get a minimum of $100K. And
a 26 increase into the residual base. So I think also from this we might actually get actual numbers from things that are go streaming. We're going to probably get actual numbers.
There is actually here. It's right here. Streaming data transparency. The companies are agreed to provide the guild, subject to confidentiality agreement, domestically and internationally, etc.
Yep.
I wonder if this will. So is this for just projects now going forward?
It's in agreement from September to May.
Yeah.
So
Right, but what I'm saying is, but it's for
Yes.
material written during that time. So I've been complaining for years that there's a lot of stuff that I want to see that's not streaming anymore or doesn't stream. Like there's a show called the John Larroquette Show, which is a great TV show. I used to watch it when it was out. It was a couple seasons long, very funny, underrated, and didn't get the love that it needed. But I can't find it anywhere to watch it because it's not streaming. I'm just worried. I was just worried that something like this might make it harder for some of those shows to come streaming if it was retroactive.
right.
Or for like new streaming old content, does that retroactively come back in, or is it only new stuff written from now forward?
Right. It looks like it's just from now forward, but it's hard to really fully tell. Also, viewership based streaming bonuses where you get if it's 20% or more of the domestic service subscribers first 90 days, or any 90 days of any subsequent exhibition year, it bonus of 50% of your fixed domestic for residual.
Yeah,
which is pretty nice.
It is nice, but I think that's gonna it's going to stop the whole. Yeah, this is number one in America. We swear it this time. No.
Yeah, we have to actually use the exact numbers.
Yeah, we're gonna find out exactly what's trash, what exactly no one is watching, and
well, Nielsen still does those numbers, right? For at least like for the top shows and stuff.
Correct,
but for television, though.
Yeah, it's mostly for still like regular broadcast, like that, cable, stuff like that.
No.
It doesn't.
They do streaming.
They do streaming, but the numbers aren't as accurate. It doesn't work. It's not as. It's not as well. Yeah, it's not as accurate. Yeah, yeah, it's not as accurate. Yeah, the numbers for the good numbers for what people are actually watching, stuff like that. The streaming companies have the correct data on it, and they're just not providing it because it also affects their stock value too, and freaking real time. Because it also depends on because a lot of it's like they'll manipulate it because it's based on who picks it up. So you could say like let's go with He-Man. He-Man could be number one in streaming for that day because everyone picked up that first episode and realized, oh, this is not a He-Man episode. And it just drops. So yes, millions of people tuned in, but they never released so when do they stop watching? They knew exactly when they stopped watching.
Right.
I think the only person that does that is I think it was Amazon used to do that. Like, hey, these people stop watching here.
Yeah, they show you where they care about, and it's like so they hear which is increased compensation for series employment. They added another tier for their stuff, which is a writer-producer role, and these rates will go into effect for new seasons that start 60 days after ratification. And development room premiums. Writers of any title working in pre-greenlit rooms of at least 3 writers, including seasons of a show. You pay premium rates up to guarantees of 19 weeks.
Yep. And it's pre-greenlit. So they're just they're trying, but they also that applies to what is it, the pilot that you're getting for pilots? I forget what it. They got a little pilot bonus too, but
so
which is great because
a lot of shows as of November 1st.
A lot of writers end up having to write for shows that aren't greenlit yet or pilots, and they just die on the vine. They don't go anywhere. But you do all this work, no one sees it, and but you did the freaking work, or you didn't go on another show that does like this. So yeah, it's sorry, but their studios will hold on to that stuff. You're not even allowed to talk about it. Rivals reacting to our content now.
Yeah, sometimes you create a pilot and that pilot dies on the vine and it's gone. It's just gone. Or they use it to make it something else.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, Adventure Time was a pilot for Nickelodeon. And then it got sold to Cartoon Network because Nickelodeon wanted it.
Right. Yeah. And they barely, I think like they was under contract for so long from Nickelodeon, had the rights to it for a while because they went there first,
Right.
Yeah, but it's other thing. But it's all about going with the studios with anything. Heck, saying, well, why we've got so many seasons and got a hell of a boss, but like that was just the pilot. Hazmat Hotel, but keep going.
Yeah, and then we get the staffing durations of things. television shows and on-demand shows. They require a guaranteed minimum number of writers who must be hired for the duration of the employment.
Yeah, and this was like the biggest sticking part of like most of the deals. So like was how many cooks and how many things were going here into the kitchen, how many people were going for the writings room.
Right. So in development rooms, once they have three, at least three
writers, including the showrunner, or guaranteed executive. So yeah. So which is that's probably the easiest one for them to get. That's probably what they really wanted was. We've got the showrunner, the big name that's drawing in, doing everything like that, and a couple of writers to help.
Right. That's beforehand. But then the post green light, depending on the number of episodes ordered, unless a single writer is engaged in writing all episodes. Meaning that if they have one person writing it for all episodes post green light, this doesn't affect it all. They don't care. That's what I'm gathering from what this statement is.
Yeah, and that's just the minimum number in the room. I know that number went back and forth. Like I even heard like the I think Clownfish reported on like they wanted like 10 people in his writer's room, which that's a lot of writers. Even though it is like 13 plus episodes or something like that, I can get it, but like that's still a lot of writers.
Yeah, there's so this unless a single writer is engaged in writing all the episodes, I feel like that's going to be something that they're going to use and abuse.
Correct. Yeah. Or you'll see, I think because of this reasoning, I think we may get more, well, I should say not more, but less shows and more single showrunner shows, kind of like what Doctor Who's like, whoa, Russell T. Davies is doing this one. It's all Russell. Get out.
Yeah.
Get out, losers.
Or like there's going to have 2 seasons. There's going to be it's going to be 5 years between the 2 seasons.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. 5 years, the 2 seasons, or just someone adapting a book, or they're just, or just smaller or less series, just less.
See, when I'm looking at this, right, the first thing that pops into my head, anime.
Yeah.
That's all they do. Most of the mangaka who write the manga are just one person.
Yep. They're
the only one who's writing the story.
Correct.
Yeah. Sometimes they're the only one writing and drawing the story for years and years and years and years. So it tells me that people would easily go to that market of, cool, we're going to do a bunch of animated stuff now. But yeah, we're going to have one writer write the whole plot of this animated stuff and then put a bunch of pay the rest of that money to animators. And we would pay cheap because we don't like animators. Which they do anyway.
Yeah, they do it anyways. They don't even have to do it in the United States.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, so most of the stuff is just general increased money, budgets for different kinds of variety shows. This one's interesting, is that there'll be an annual funding for showrunner training.
Yeah, that allows the guild to king make. That gets the guild power, and the studios understand it. So
yeah, it seems like that is a loophole I feel like might happen a lot.
Yeah, because like no one's shocked at anything. Like the whole Hollywood system is also like has nepotism fueled inside of it anyways. So
but this one, the AI stuff, is very interesting.
Yeah,
basically allowing a writer to use AI, but the company can't. But you have to hire a writer to use it.
Correct. Yeah. Well, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but like, and I think they're going to put like force their hand. I think this is going to end up. I got to put it like. I think some of this is going to bite them in the butt a little bit. Personally, I think the studios got exactly what they wanted out of this. I think the writers got a little bit of what they wanted. I know they did have to give up on some of the things, but some things they did have to give up on. So did the studio. The studio some studios were making a boatloads of money.
Right. Competition and compromise is good, but I don't know how much you could say one side won.
Correct.
Air quotes.
Yeah. I do say that I'm with the opinion that the house always wins, and I think, especially with a lot of these shows being hit with force majeure and just canceling everything and not coming back, I think that's a lot of the studios that wanted to get rid of things but didn't know how to, and the contracts for it to make it expensive to close some shows, for just gave them what they wanted. Like, cool, we can shut some of this stuff off. We can
we don't
do these things.
We can cancel it without having to explain why we canceled it.
Great. Oh, it's the strike. The strike. The strike's reason.
I don't know, man.
Don't blame me. Strike. Remember, heroes? Strike.
And the thing is that we have this. The actors strike is already going on, and they already voted for the games industry to also strike.
Correct. Which is, I think that's I don't think the do I think the video game industry needs better stuff? They sure do, but like, but most of the studios, the big studios, will just like, well, screw you. We barely want you in the first place.
But the bigger studios would be like, cool, whatever. You guys gonna keep making. I get to make Madden again. Cool. That's all I care about.
Yeah. More microtransactions. Double down.
Does Activision Blizzard still get bought by Microsoft? Cool, I don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. Yeah. But I do think the voice actors, or the voices who do the voices in video games, should get paid more. They should get better scheduling, better benefits.
They should stop just shoehorning famous people into things just because they're famous / were famous at one point, but their stars kind of faded a little bit.
Yeah. Unless it's Keith David, then I'm all for Keith David.
Keith David's different.
Yeah.
He was already doing voice acting before he was in Saints Row.
Yeah. I know.
But I was talking about like Mortal Kombat 1, they made a character Megan Fox for no reason.
You serious?
Yeah. Natara is the character from like the 3D Mortal Kombat games. Brought it back, and it's like, cool, it's Megan Fox.
I heard she's terrible in the new Expendables 4 movie.
I have no. I didn't care about the Expendables when the first one came out.
Me personally,
those are good movies.
I was hoping the Expendables would get better with it and do like a versus. I think it would have been great. Expendable went to like Expendables versus the cast of Full House. Expendables, versus like the
only way Expendables works to the end is that it's the Fast and the Expendables.
Oh, and then we do spy movies, right? With it, you get the Pretty Boy Spy movies, and do like a universe. So this ridiculous universe no one wants to live in, that Fast and Furious, Expendables, and like some ridiculous spy movie stuff all happen at the same time. Imagine, the second best James Bond, Pierce Brosnan.
It's a spy battle royale.
Look at Ryan Hogo. Like, did you? Second best James Bond, Pierce Brosnan. All right.
Next week, Reinhold's board is going to be the list of best James Bonds.
If it's not Sean Connery, then Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
He said Sean Connery's number one. He said second best. He said second best.
Second.
I agree with. You got to give Sean Connery his due. You can't take that away from him.
I will say Pierce Brosnan was my favorite, and then I watched the Sean Connery movies. I was like, oh.
Have you seen the ERB? History with
when we play it,
that's hilarious. Yeah. Well, beyond the fact that they did a really good Austin
Powers.
Austin Powers, that's it.
Mike Myers.
I want to say Mike Myers. Yeah, Austin Powers, they did a really good Austin Powers, but it was clear that he didn't belong, and they kind of swept him aside to have the real OG battle.
But
it was really good.
I feel like the actors have a much more interesting thing to argue about with AI.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the actor AI stuff is way scarier than the writer AI stuff.
Right.
Because they're like, cool, I have your face now.
Correct.
I don't need you anymore.
I know. Yeah.
There's times when it's going to become in handy, and that's for de-aging, which is really good technology these days. Because if you watched Wheel of Time last week, they did some de-aging that you can't tell. And then there's also times where it's like we need to have a reshoot for this thing, but it's going to be hard to get the actor to come in and do it. Just do a quick, over. I mean, that was the biggest thing. I don't know if you remember Back to the Future 2. That was the whole hubbub about that one. Was that Crispin Glover didn't want to come back for it, and they got some guy to put his face on him, just for the couple scenes he was in. And I think he sued. He was very upset about it. So that was his likeness. So
I thought you were going to talk about the reshoots of Justice League where Henry Cavill had the mustache because he was doing Mission Impossible. And they refused to shave it. He refused.
Imagine they could have used the AI to put that over his face, and in a much better way, it would have been better.
He couldn't shave it.
Yeah, no, he legally, contractually couldn't shave it. Yeah,
it'd be like if I got a role that I had a mustache, which like I couldn't shave it. I can't grow this back in time.
Yeah,
but it's just.
Well, and Caesar, remember Cesar Romero's Joker, but that's that was just because they didn't want to shave it.
Yeah, sounds like a terrible Joker. Let's go with the but then you got actors who are willingly selling their likeness. So like if let's say you played a very famous villain, but you just turned 91 and you really, and so you sell it to some studios to make sure your family really never has to work again because they want to keep using the voice,
Which is what you could
but
do.
But he was given that choice instead of like, nah, we've got so many angles of Paul Rudd. We're good. Paul Rudd's never going to die.
Well, the thing too is as long as there's contracts and there's people who are in control of that property and there's agreements so that you're not just doing it without the agreement of the people whose likeness it is, and that's why I think where this really comes into play.
Correct. Yeah.
They wanted protection for that. That's what they.
Yeah. And they need protection for that. But the other thing is, I think the studios would just need to grow up and understand that we as the viewing public can understand actors can change and they're just continuing playing the role. I'm perfectly fine if someone's stepping out of something and playing something else, as long as they're close to, like, they're playing in the role or taking an aspect of a role. Because like I think Doctor Who has proved anything is just like, yes, there's a plot reason why the actor is, but yes, this is their doc, but they're still playing the Doctor, no matter what they look like, what gender they are. It's the Doctor,
Yeah, but how many times have they tried to bring back cameos of old doctors? When they get the one guy who kind of resembles the first Doctor, brought him in, and he does a great job. I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy's an phenomenal actor. But wouldn't it be great to be able to see the War Doctor again for a few minutes, or at least a young version of the War Doctor, right? John Hurt, just for a brief cameo, it'd be really cool.
I think it'd be cool, but like I'm kind of fine. Like if they just just grab somebody who can, they can fulfill the role and just play that role, like, and it can get close, even if they look close. I'm also fine with that. I don't want them to do something. Doctor. Yeah, I don't want them to do something like drastic and get someone.
Like I would hate if they just did stuff like, cool, we're gonna make another Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory, and just smack Gene Wilder's face on Willy Wonka every time.
It would be better than any other Willy Wonka that they've done.
How dare you? Okay, Mike Myers did a job.
Mike Myers, you mean Johnny Depp?
Yeah, sorry, Johnny Depp did a job.
Johnny Depp.
It was so awful. I'm sorry, erase that.
But now think about, like, it's the Johnny Depp version, but they smashed Gene Wilder's face on it. I would hate it. It was like, well, that's he plays the character. Yeah, my interpretation is going to be different, but that's who the character is. So I'm gonna smash their face on it.
Right.
That would Man of Steel, but you put the Christopher Reeve Superman face on it.
See, I would own it like that. It's like a video game skin, and I can get my Superman to play. Because I'll pay $40 for the Nick Cage Superman. Go through the whole. Yeah, but no, I it's kind of like Iron Man. We watched the actor, we watched a certain actor change from Iron Man to Iron Man 2, and no one cared. We just kept watching. The series went on. I'm not even going to say what actor that was because you guys didn't even know. No one didn't even notice.
Oh, we noticed.
No one noticed. No one noticed.
In fact, he commented about it on the first scene in the new movie. Where he's like, "You look different." And he's like, "Yeah, I deal with it." And it's funny because the Bruce Banner thing,
Mhm.
they actually really had a funny addressing of that in She-Hulk that you probably haven't watched, but it's basically where he's saying, "Oh yeah," because he was talking about the fight with the Abomination.
Mhm.
He's like, "Oh, that was so long ago. I was a totally different guy back then, literally."
Mm, mm. No.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But it's one of those days of if a character becomes like if an actor becomes iconic in a role, and people just go, "Cool, I copyrighted like cool, we're using the AI to constantly bring back Heath Ledger's Joker whenever we want to do Joker."
No.
But it's not just the face;
I
it's
know,
the
I know.
action. I mean,
I know,
and
it's the actor and everything,
people would rebel, and they know that. They know that if they tried to put some lame actor in there to do it, and had even though it had Heath Ledger's face on it, if he wasn't good as the Joker, they do that now. If somebody comes back to play a role and he's not as good as he was originally, they rip him a new one. You know, fans are not going to put up with it.
Honestly, all I want them to do is to reboot Casablanca before the boomers die.
What? Why? So you could have a mass extinction event where they all die at the same time?
Isn't that like every rom-com since?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
That is true. That is true. That is true.
Formula.
That is true. When I had my wife watch Casablanca for the first time, I was like, now once you watch this movie, you're gonna watch every other movie after this, and you're gonna wait a minute. They stole this from Casablanca. It's like
that's the problem with people watching it now. I see people watching it now in reactions. I do because I love watching people watch reactions to that movie. But a lot of times it's like they're guessing what's going to happen. They see what's going to happen. Oh, this is what we did in this other movie they've seen before because it's all based off of what was done in then.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but
it's hard to capture that initial like this is the first time this has been done. Like if somebody does another first person shooter movie, well, we already have Hardcore Henry. Right, Hardcore Henry did it. They did it great. Done.
Yes.
Now anybody else who does it is going to be compared to that. It's building off that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch the new one, then you go back and see the old one, you're going to go, "Oh, this is lame. This is a bad ripoff of that what I already seen." Even though it was the first time, it was groundbreaking and phenomenal. So
right, yeah.
And if you guys haven't seen Hardcore Henry, I ought to smack both of you.
I watched the other first person shooting movie.
You say Doom? I knew it. I knew you said that exact same thing. The fact that I thought the exact because they had the first person shooter part of the movie where they literally go in first person and they do Doom in first person in the movie. Before Hardcore Harry came out.
Yeah, Henry. That movie would be so much better. The Doom movie would have been better if it were all shot that way.
Oh, dude, it would have been so hype.
Yeah, but no. I've seen Hardcore Henry. I didn't want to watch it at first, but I had someone go like, "You have to watch this movie."
Do it.
It's like
you have to at least watch it one time.
They're like, it was like, do you have, I forget what streaming when it came out, when it finally got streamed. Like, do you have that? I'll just give you my password. You have to watch it tonight.
No.
I was like, no, I've got it. I just didn't look. It looked
so much.
The trailer made it look awful. I'm like, oh, it's gotta be bad. Then I watched it. I was like, this is kind of good.
So there was a scene that they released for the Kickstarter, and you watch that scene. It was a scene where they're trying to get the guy to go down. He's going down the elevator and they're trying to protect him and they're going around shooting everybody and grenades and all that stuff with the English guy. That was the Kickstarter scene that everybody watched and lost their minds. And then the trailer came out and it was like, but when you watch the stunts and things that were done in that movie, it's so well done. And you just can't believe that somebody was able to pull off a lot of that stuff. Now they were doing some wire work and a little bit here and there, and they did some stuff, but it was still so amazing that guy was able to pull off a lot of that stuff that, I mean, that's such a, I just watched it last night again. It was just so good.
Yeah.
I got kicked because I heard Queen and I'm like, oh, Queen movie, Hardcore Henry. I gotta go watch it for that song,
Oh man.
Yeah, I feel like the Writers Guild is gonna have the Actors Guild and their AI situation is gonna be very, very interesting to see how it plays out and how that gets used in the future. Because I've seen people like Doomer it. I've seen them go like the Doomer route. It's like, cool. What we want is Meryl Streep who moves like Jennifer Lawrence who can act with an actor that can do this. and it just miss and match paces and body parts and stuff.
Yeah.
So I've seen them doomer it all the way the fuck out. It's just like, why do you? This is good. You can see where this could basically become anime. You're basically making Alita Battle Angel, but with CGI, but with AI.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Did you watch Alita Battle Angel? It's actually really good.
Okay. All right. I'll put it on the list.
Put it on my list. Pulls out the list. It's like 8 pages long.
How dare you?
You're right. It's more like 20.
13. Okay. I'm sorry. Like, my main problem, I didn't want to watch that because it was like mecha, and with the ladies, like, I'm already like kind of horny after a robot chick. I didn't need another one. Right? I didn't need another one. So I didn't want to watch it. So I can't question if I don't know anything about it. So it's okay. I didn't have to fight that battle.
God
Anyway.
damn it, Harry.
Well, before this episode gets too long of the truth, we probably should end this.
Yeah, probably. Before you release any more incriminating evidence on yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, do you guys have anything you want to recap this episode before I start doing my ending rant?
Enjoy the things you guys enjoy. Don't support people who steal shit. And support original creators. And
yeah, there's better creators out there than what you might be watching. Go check them out. Don't stick with the lame ones. I watch reaction videos sometimes, and you can tell the person is reacting as acting, like they're over big on it and they're being too. It's just like, no, just stop. Go find good people who are doing good work. They're out there. Just keep looking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Okay. Well, I want to thank you, everyone who's gotten listened to this far in the episode. If you've made it this far, you're a true episode and a future key holder. I see it in your future. But thank you. You can listen to anything else in the world, but decided to listen to us, and that. Thank you. Welcome. This episode is recorded on at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. Please come hang out with us. I enjoy all 250 of you who listened to this episode as a podcast and downloaded it. Actually, 250 plus now. So I want you to come listen live. I understand that this Monday might not be a good night for you, so I'm sorry. I wish it was, but if you can make it, come hang out live. We're on twitch.tv/wearelibertarians, and we're also on youtube.com/wearelibertarians. Come hang out and be on the live stream. Help us out. Help. Come talk. It's fun. Be part of the conversation. You can be a part of the conversation. So, so we'll see you guys next week, where I will try not to just react to AI content that I put in the AI machine. Maybe I'll just go to the network and I don't know. If I don't have anything for next week, I'll just put a Brian Nichols episode on and just let Reinhold go and go get popcorn or something.
So you want a 6-hour episode is what you're saying.
Anyways, I'll catch y'all later. Bye, everyone.